Hello YouTube, and I thought I would do a quick little demonstration on the SkyRc LiPo balance charger this evening. And this is mainly designed for model aircraft, recharging the batteries for the receiver on the aircraft and on the controller as well. And you can charge about any kind of LiPo, LiFi, Lefion, NMH, NiCad, or PB on here. And I haven't used this a lot. Actually what I did, I had a Bofang UV5 ham walkie-talkie, and I wasn't real pleased with the way it was charging off the included charger and adapter, so I used this with some alligator clips to charge the batteries, which on fast charge you could charge the batteries a lot quicker, and it seemed like the batteries stayed up longer that way. Okay, but I haven't had a lot of experience with it, so I've always had big plans for this stuff, and I kind of got stopped in my tracks. I've told you all that before on some of the previous video. I'm not even going into that anymore. Gotta let it go. So anyway, opening the box up, this is what you get, and we'll show you the accessories. They're pretty liberal on what you get actually. But I want to say something before we get into this. You want to be sure you get the B6 from IMAX B6, and it's from SkyRc. There's several Chinese clones of these out on the market, and I will admit they do work good, but these folks here, they have the time and the engineering to design it, and they have the early development cost to produce and get it on the market. So I like to take care of the people that do things right. Now this will run you, when I bought it, I'm not sure what they're running now. They may have doubled or something, but when I bought it, it was around 45 bucks. It was under $60, and it was a really good value for that. The Japanese clone ones will run you anywhere from $18 to $20. And I know right there, that's going to raise maybe some brows in the comments section, or some comments as you look at the screen and watch this. But I don't know, I just believe in doing things right, and not, be sure the appropriate steps are done and the appropriate people get credit for things. Okay, this is basically unboxed what you get. The LiPo balance charger itself, the B6. You get a really comprehensive, and I mean comprehensive, instruction manual. And I got that little wrinkle when I put it in the box. But it's very, very comprehensive. Has flow charts for most of the operation. So if you can't figure out something, you can go in here and look. And believe me, I had to do it several times. These are not hard to use, but you have to use them all the time, or if you're flying radio-controlled planes or some other radio-controlled device that runs on even the ground or something, you'll be using these every other weekend wherever you go. So, then you kind of get a chance to learn it. But it comes with plugs for Futaba, and pretty much these are sort of universal plugs that fit different kinds of RC control, radio control boxes, and the chargers on the receivers in the planes or the models. Now this will run on, I think it's it's anywhere from 11 volts to 18 volts DC. Okay, and they give you a pretty unique way of doing it. So this is from the factory. They supply you with a female to male jack, and it simply fits in the back here. And then you have your gator cables. Now if you're out in the field, you may have separate batteries you want to clip these to, or you can clip these to your car battery, that sort of thing. As we get into this, I'll show you. I use a regulated 12 volt power supply for it here, and it works real good. I've charged about everything on it. Now, this part here, you can charge different cells if it's not a standard pack where you use these pre-made connectors, and this is what I use. You can charge 4 cells, 3 cells, 2 cells, 6 cells, or 5 cells, and this is the balanced charging socket, and they are really, I mean, they're really straightforward on this. And basically, you get these here. This is the supply. Let me reiterate. This here is the supplied connectors that is for produced, manufactured cables for different kinds of model and RC radio systems or receivers in the model. Okay, what I do, because I charge the battery in a walkie-talkie, you've got your polarization here. There's your red. These are banana plugs. They're not audio plugs. They're just a single copper connector, which is one wire. They're not an audio connector or stereo connector or anything like that. Okay, obviously you put your positive in the positive. Put your negative in the negative. Okay, really simple. On mine, I had those batteries for the Bofang UV5 walkie-talkie, and there was, up on top of it, there was just 2 little slits, and you could clip these right on the edge and then push them up against the, the copper that normally charged through the radio, and you could charge them. So these are for things that are not necessarily, pre-made to fit in these professional factory-made sockets, because most people are going to charge a lot of other things with this other than that. So anyway, that's pretty much the basic operation of it. And this is, by the way, this is all metal. It's metal, and it does have cooling vents on the bottom and stuff, and I've never felt any heat out of it, but like I said, I haven't used it all day charging receiver packs, on a model or something either, so that remains to be seen. But I have heard of some defects in the integrated circuits in these that have had to be replaced. It's a fairly common thing. However, I haven't used this one that much, and I haven't experienced that with this one. So, okay, let's get back here, and we'll get the power supply out, and we'll power this up. And about all I've got to charge right now, if I can find some kind of connector, is a AAA battery, NiCad, or LiPo, excuse me. And but also wanted to clear something up. The second time I talked about Chinese clones, I said earlier in the video, the first one I said Chinese clones, then I mentioned it again and I said Japanese clones of these. I want to correct myself. There are no Japanese clones of these. There are only Chinese clones of these. And this is the real thing, and I ordered this from them, and I made sure that they got my 45 bucks. Because they're the developers, they're the creators, and they deserve to be paid for what they do. And I don't want you to think that I just want to throw money away, because you can get a Chinese knockoff for $18, maybe $20. But when you do that, you stop innovation and you stop products like this from ever coming to the market. Because a legitimate company like this that develops and engineers and then has to bring these to market, that costs a lot of bucks. And you come along after they do that, they're trying to recoup their cost. And sometimes they'll lower stuff like this, anything, after they sell enough of them, they've recouped their, their engineering, design, and marketing cost. But when you buy a Chinese clone, they don't get any of that. You're basically stealing their technology, although you bought the charger, the clone charger. So I don't like to do that, and I just don't feel right about doing it. So, okay, we'll be back here in a minute, and we'll get to going on this. It's really cool. Okay, this camera is having a real hard time showing the display on this, which that's going to distract from our demonstration just a whole lot. But anyway, I'm hoping maybe you can see some of it. And it has like a battery type. You press that program select, lithium battery, NIMH, and that will be the battery we will be charging in this video. It's a single cell, and you're not supposed to charge a single cell, but for demonstration purposes, I'm going to do that. If something goes awry, the battery gets too hot, or it doesn't like the battery, it automatically will shut itself off. Okay, there's for lithium IO user set. This is where you can set a bunch of programs and just do one, just touch one button and bring up the program, and you have all the voltages and all the types of batteries set. Now this is going to be a little vague because I'm learning this as we go. Okay, here you go. Like we're going to charge, let's see, let me go to that. Okay, get out of that mode. Okay, here we go. Program select, NIMH battery. So you press DEC. Let's see. No, you don't press DEC. Let's go back to, okay. Battery type has been selected. Okay, battery type has been selected. You press slogan. Okay, battery type has been selected. You press INC. Okay, at this point in time, let me see something here. Okay, here it tells you minimum NIMH charge current. It's on manual. That means you set it current 0.2 amps. Okay, you should be able to scroll through these. And let's see if we can do that. There's NIMH cycle, NIMH charge. Let me see if I can. DCHS charge, minimum cycle. You can have it cycle however many times you want. Okay, here's what let's see, that's the discharge. Okay, you press start, and then to set your current, this is very important, you use INC and DEC. I'm bringing this down to 0.1 of an amp because this is a one cell NIMH battery. And okay, you press start again to lock that in. Okay, now let me go get a battery holder out of an old scanner here, and we'll see if we can, I'm not going to charge this very long, but you'll get an idea. And I hope you can see something to do with that display, because this camera is really finicky. So let me get a battery and a holder here, and we'll see what we can do. We'll be right back. All right, all right. Okay, I've got the battery here, and I could not find a charger for it. So this is going to be touch and go, because if the connection breaks or there's anything, this automatically will shut itself down. And so I'm going to clamp the positive on the positive and see if I can. Don't think I'm going to be able to do this. Maybe. Doubtful, but maybe. See if I can. There. Doubtful, but maybe. Maybe, baby. Okay, let me see if I can. I hope I don't get burnt like hell on this. Okay, we're charging. NiCad 0.1 amp. 1.38 volts, kind of varies. Charge 0.08 seconds, and this will fill this cell, and it will automatically charge this cell and then cut off. And I would tilt this to where you might be able to see the display a little bit better. I don't know what that funky camera is doing. See if I can do this without. If I let go of this battery, there you go. Connection break. Whenever there's a break in the connection, that's what it does. It says connection break. So anyway, I want to see what that looks like.